Welcome back, everyone. Let's grab our 4.5mm security bit, our bat utility belt, and get our raspy voice because I'm Batman. We are going to get this game nice and clean because it looks pretty gross and it actually kind of smells bad. Don't know what the situation was of it, but this lot of Sega Genesis games I picked up kind of all have a mildewy smell to them. So before we put in our nice Sega Genesis right here, let's get this cleaned up. We'll start with doing this just right here on the label. You can see on there, there's like some weird gross stuff on there. If you take one of the magic erasers, you can just kind of lightly go over the label, see if we can get some of that removed. You don't want to use it too rough on the label because it will scratch off everything. I mean, that almost seems like could have been bird poop or something. I'm not really sure. But it's pretty gross. Okay, I think we are good with the magic eraser. Let's do a nice little blast off with the can of air. Once again, I always give the warning every time if you're using this, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Which I may not be. But I got more of a permanent setup for doing all this now, so it's a little nicer. So the label is actually looking a lot nicer now. There is some issue where the label has peeled off at those spots, but I mean the label doesn't look extremely disgusting anymore. Then we're going to use our security bit and undo these two bolts in the back. And once the bolts are removed from there, you just take the cartridge and you can just peel it apart. Another warning not about the little air spray things is whenever you're about to touch a circuit, make sure you're always grounded out. Don't want to fry this thing. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There's some kind of gunk that is on the little golden fingers on here. So that's what we're going to work on getting removed. The back side of it actually has like some other kind of gunk on the golden fingers. There we go. There's a good shot of it. Yeah, that looks so disgusting. It's almost as bad as my face. So the first thing we will do is start off with this nice, I can't really see it, Animal Crossing pencil here. Just take the eraser from it. I mean, you can really use any kind of eraser, and we're just going to go over the pins on here. That helps get rid of a bunch of the oils or grease or just even some kind of loose dirt, or just loosens things up a little bit. It's like a nice little laxative for the golden pins. Then on the side that's really gross, okay, it looks like, get all this stuff off. There's still a little bit of gunk on this side. So this is something you want to be very careful about doing. Use the 400 extra fine sandpaper and just kind of lightly go over the golden fingers on there where the gross stuff is. You don't want to do it too much because that can actually ruin things. Just want to do it enough to get rid of the grossness. Okay, to get the rest of the eraser dust off, we'll give it another blast of air. Always need a clean work area. So the next thing we're going to do is use these nice Q-tips. You definitely want the ones that are the cardboard or whatever they're called instead of the ones that are plastic, because the plastic ones are kind of junk. And then take 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can buy this cheap at places like Walmart, Sam's Club, even pharmacy like CVS or Walgreens. And then you just go over all these little gold fingers here. You can kind of push down on it because, I mean, cotton swab's not really going to damage these that much. Then use the dry side, just go get anything extra off of there. Flip it over, rinse, repeat. This is the side that was really gross. I had to use a little bit of sandpaper on to get some gunk off of there. And we'll get any remaining stuff off with the dry side. Close up our alcohol. Make sure you keep your alcohol closed pretty well because it does evaporate. There we go. Those golden fingers are looking pretty nice on there right now, even on this side. But we can't consider our work done yet because this case kind of smells. I don't know if you can smell it through the camera, but take a big whiff of that. So we will move our circuit board to the side and then use our nice little Clorox wipe. Sam's Club Clorox wipe. So you want to make sure to not get the circuit and also don't get the label because, these can destroy these old labels. We'll start with the back of this with our bacteria repellent bat wipe. Just kind of get everything that we can with this. Make it smell lemony fresh. And then the side we have to be really careful with, the front. So make sure to kind of do whatever we can to not get the label. Okay, so just waiting on this to dry now. So I may have the unpopular opinion, but I personally think that the best Batman ever was Adam West. Let me know in the comments who you think the best Batman is. So while those are finishing up drying, I noticed that the tops of the screws kind of had a little bit of grossness on them. So just going to get those wiped down with the 91% isopropyl alcohol. That will dry pretty quickly. And then just for good measure, make sure you get in these screw holes. Oh, that was actually kind of gross. Okay, now the fun part. We get to put it all back together. So the side with the label is the side where all the fun chip stuff goes down. So one thing to note, these do have it set up a little bit, kind of how Nintendo ones do, where you can't really put it in the wrong way. So like if I try to put it in upside down like that, it actually stops it on the sides. It doesn't line up perfectly in there. So we'll put that on there, and we'll put the back on that. Just sets on top. Our lemony fresh Batman game. Screw these screws back in. And then there we go. We have a nice clean Batman for Sega Genesis. And then the most important part is getting this in here to our nice clean Sega Genesis, which I do have a few gross ones that we will be cleaning at some point, and then we turn it on. And there we go. It starts right up. I'm Batman. Never actually played this game before. Kind of exciting to have a chance to play it. Gotham City Street. So you can punch. Whoa, he just shot me. Throw some batarangs around. Oh, I'm out of batarangs. So there we go. That is how we clean a Sega Genesis cartridge. And my work here is not done with that because that lot had a whole bunch of pretty gross looking games here. So I have my work cut out for me. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Sega Genesis game is. And yeah, I've always been a Nintendo guy, but I have fun with Genesis now. I've kind of grown to appreciate Sega. They're still never a matchup for Nintendo, but that's beside the point. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was useful for you. If you have any questions, anything like that, then let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.